All right. Looks like I'm live. I don't know how long I'm going to be on here. I say that every single one, but I really have not eaten a whole lot today. I did want to talk about a little bit. I've been mostly raw lately. I've been liking it quite a bit. I haven't really been doing a lot of fat, um, which it seems like raw and fat go hand in hand. And I have been just doing a little bit of starch here and there. I'll probably be doing rice tonight. You should grow potatoes on your garden. I don't really have enough room for that because of that enormous tree back there. It just does not get enough sunlight, and the whole backyard is full of like massive roots because of that tree. So it makes it very difficult. But I don't, I wouldn't want to get rid of the tree. I'd rather actually just rent like garden space somewhere else, but I just like I struggle to even get videos out these days, so I just don't have really the time. Do you ever feel overwhelmed with all of the theories on what we were supposed to eat? Yeah, I do actually, and that is really kind of been getting to me. I normally things don't get to me, but um the constant bombardment with this stuff on this channel has just gotten just to the point where I'm just kind of stepping back a little. I think it's the same question. But yeah, the amount of theories and everything that there are out there is just mind-boggling. I don't know how we're the only species on this planet that doesn't know what we're supposed to eat. Um, like protein and protein specifically is very stimulating. So people really think that it gives them energy, but it kind of gives you energy in the way that caffeine gives you energy. Your body finds it as something that doesn't want in its body, so it speeds up the metabolism to get rid of it faster. Whereas carbohydrates, they kind of mellow you out, um, but they also give you energy. They're kind of a weird thing. They're kind of like water in a way, I guess, because water can be gas, it can be ice, it can be just regular water. Um, and so, it can be in different states. So carbohydrates can give you energy and they also can make you sleep really good. Been having Japanese natto and rice for dinner a few times a week. I haven't really had natto in a while. Um, I assume you're getting it at like an Asian supermarket or something like that, because I mean, you're not really going to find that at normal grocery stores, at least around here anyway. It's so weird to see Rachel and the thing that's my sister's name. I'm like, how the hell did she would never come on here. But yeah, whatever works for everybody. I'm kind of actually, if I'm really looking at it, kind of doing the rice diet right now. I haven't had as many potatoes. I haven't really felt like going grocery shopping. I've got a ton, like 150, 200 pounds of rice sitting around. So it's just been, and it's weird. Like last week when I bought all my bananas, I got about 80 pounds of bananas sitting up there. It was like 90 degrees every day and like 93% humidity, and they still didn't ripen. And I still got them in plastic bags and everything. So I haven't had any bananas this week. So it's been kind of like dates, watermelon, which are stupid expensive. As far as dates, if you guys saw that kind of like parody little video that I did, that short, the reel, those dates are really good. I forget what the name of the farm is though. I'll do a short and give everybody the name. What do you think of Apple's new AR headset? I'm not into these headsets. I know what they're trying to do with this stuff. I'm never gonna get into it. It's just never gonna happen. So I don't even bother looking into it. I don't want something implanted in my hand. I don't want something where virtual reality bullshit. I'm not into it. It's really opened my eyes to this whole dating thing because it's become so hard. Like back in the day, you had so much contact with different people in actual life, and dating wasn't really that hard. Now it's on these apps and everything, and I can't be bothered with it. So it does make it a little more difficult. And some of these lives, you should do live reaction videos to carnivore people. I got to figure out how to do stuff like that. That would be kind of a lot of fun, actually, because making straight videos is really becoming a challenge lately. Does keto cause much more fat to be burned, but much of this is canceled out by the high fat foods? I'm doing low fat keto, higher protein, sometimes to lean out quickly. Well, no, it doesn't burn really fat at all. It burns all the water that your body stores and bone and stuff to neutralize the toxicity from all the fat and the protein. Basically, a protein sparing modified fast. Why would you want to spare protein? If you've got like mental disorders, those are largely caused by protein. If you look at the studies with the rice, not the rice, with the rats and the mice, that they extended their lives by having them on starvation or very little food, and it added longevity to their life. And then they found that it really wasn't the fasting; it was the lack of protein in the diet, because they did the exact same study with the exact same type of animals, and they did it with carbohydrates, high carbohydrates, almost no fat, almost no protein, and they literally got the longevity effects that they got on the fasting. So it was the protein and the extra fat in the diet that was causing the mental disorders, the cancers, and all that other kind of stuff in these rats. So why somebody would put themselves onto a diet that causes all of this is very confusing to me. I don't understand it. So this high protein, man, this they really, I just the marketing is genius. It's absolutely genius. People are defending it like to the death. People are going on it. They just, I mean, back in the day, I kind of was on that in that mode, and you used to like go to a restaurant or something like that, and then you say like, "Oh, I want a lot of protein." They'd look at you sideways. Now it's like, "I want some rice," and they'll like, look at you sideways. Oh man, I really wish it never happened, but it did. Do you like Lara bars? They're all right. I mean, for what they are, for what they cost, you could really do it yourself. Get some dates. Most of the base on those things is dates. You could probably make them yourself. I mean, I used to make something similar to that back in the day when I was fully raw. Make I would take a bunch of dates, put them in a food processor, kind of make a date paste out of it, make a crust out of that, and then I would make a basically fruit smoothie pie. I'd put it in the freezer, and kind of basically that's what a Laro bar is. I have a hard time relating to ethical sides of vegans. Probably gonna lose some people with this, but I really never got into it from ethical reasons. I got into it because um, my kidneys and my liver were absolutely destroyed from all the protein and fat and everything in the keto life. So that's why I got into it. Or not ironically, interestingly enough, the month that I dropped dairy, I lost 50 pounds in 1 month. 50 pounds. And so people who are never going to go vegan, I tell them at least drop dairy. That stuff is nasty. When you really look into how bad dairy is for everybody, that stuff is gnarly, gnarly times. So the ethical part of it, I mean, I have no interest in harming animals, but I I really wish, it wasn't that way. I don't really see how people think that that's normal to have a factory that kills 30,000 animals during a shift, which is on average. But it just it's ridiculous. I would make them myself, but I'm lazy. One of the main reasons I quit cooking. Yeah, well, laziness has taken over. It really has. I don't come from that lazy cut. I'm definitely not. I'm a Generation X. I don't come from that. I I see it. I'm making money off of it right now. I mean, I've literally had DoorDashes that picked up from, like, a McDonald's that went across the street. It was actually faster for me to walk it to the person than it was for me to drive it. I'm like, "This is pathetic." And when I finally handed it to the person, they actually made me look anorexic because they were so massively overweight. And I'm like, "Damn, I make it at least walked over to." I went to the beach last week, didn't have a gym at all, which I usually go every day, are the same, but I didn't stress about weight and lost 10 pounds. Yeah, I didn't I really, really screwed up last week. We had some massive, gnarly waves last week. I love to go swimming in that, and I never got up there. You thinking about interviewing anyone soon? I would love to. I seem to suck at getting a hold of people. Um, Fruity Amy was gonna interview me, but there's kind of a bit of a fallout right there right now, so I don't know if that's gonna happen. Um, I'm finding it very difficult to get along with other vegans. I'm finding it very difficult. When you think about when I was talking about the dating earlier, I really don't know how likely it is for me to find another vegan that is dateable. I'm sure they're out there, but I'm finding it difficult to find them. Um, very sensitive. I'm not very sensitive, so it doesn't work very well. So as far as interviewing, I did reach out to a couple of medical medium people. Um, we'll see if I can get them on here. I would love to come on. I am a former keto and carnivore guy who now played college soccer on and have a high carb, low fat, and have a crazy story. Cool. Yeah. Just DM me, I guess, on Instagram. I don't really have another way of. Oh, if you go in my about on the my channel page, there's an email. You can email me there too. So it's okay to eat a few Lara bars a day, or is that gonna negatively affect me? The problem with Lara bars is there's a lot of like they usually use a lot of cashews and stuff like that. Um, I actually would think that Cliff bars might be better. Especially if you can find there's an apricot Cliff Bar. That thing is so damn good, but they don't really ship it to America. So if you're in another country, you're in luck. That's a really good one. There was a company, if you're in Michigan, there's a grocery store called Lucky Market, and they have the apricot Cliff Bars. I don't know why they're so damn hard to find, but and those are about the lowest in fat Cliff Bars that there are, and they're like the best tasting besides the, white macadamia. The white macadamia is by far my favorite. The vegan RX bars are good, just a tad high in fat. Yeah, this is the problem you run into with these bars. Like, I was getting those, what is it, Mike's cookies, those big cookies. Most of them taste like ass, but, there is a couple of them that are half edible. But the Cliff Bar is by far I mean, if I review my diet from 2016, um, I was eating just a lot of fruit. I wasn't doing any smoothies. I ate fruit all day, and then once watermelon season was over, because I was eating watermelon for lunch, then I went over to rice, and then I would have a Cliff Bar because I was riding to and from work most of the time. So I would have a Cliff Bar before I went and rode. And have somewhere in the day, I would drink like an entire naked drink, one of the 32-ounce ones, and then I would come home, and for a while, I was just kinda eating whatever Sandy made, um, but then I kinda she got really tired of the massive volume that I was eating, so I started cooking my own stuff, and it was usually just potatoes or a little bit of, rice. Um, that was basically it. I guess the point of my story here is I used to have at least a Cliff Bar a day. And I mean, 2016, man, if I could replicate that shit, I was losing weight like crazy. How do you see the future of our world and planet in the next 30 years? Um, I think we're moving into a different dimension, and I think those who don't see what's going on are going to get left behind, and those who do are going to go into the new dimension. I know that sounds real frou frou, but I think that's what's going on. Jesus talked about it in the Bible. I forget what the exact parable, but he was talking about, if you might be in a field with, your brother and you're taken, but your brother's not. You might be in your house and somebody else is taken, but you're not, or whatever. Um, it seems to me that that is where we're heading because there's such a divide right now. Um, and when they asked Jesus, "Did you come here to bring peace?" and he said, "No, I came here to divide everybody." and basically bring chaos. And that we're definitely seeing that. Don't poo poo the woo woo. I don't poo poo it at all, but I get a lot of comments about whatever. But I think if we really look into it, I think that's what you know we've always been in end times ever since Jesus passed. Because that was end times. But yeah, I think that's where we're. I think we're in that realm right now. But I could be wrong. But that's kinda how I see things going on. But, this is a topic that really doesn't have much to do with, what the channel's about, so I try not to get into it, too much. I would like to start doing a lot more interviews. I'd like this channel just to be basically interviews and maybe doing these live streams once or twice a week. I like the conspiracy, though. There's usually only a 6 month difference between conspiracy and reality. It's just who sees it first and who's like I say in almost every one of these lies, it's easier to fool somebody than teach them that or to show them they've been fooled. So yeah, I don't really that whole term came around after JFK got shot because they were trying to get rid of any idea that it was been done by the government. You so I'm not a huge. Yeah, shot by the CIA. I mean, Bush Senior was in charge of that whole operation. Anyway, this this is far off from talking about raw food and all that kind of stuff. I think the more you do eat this way, the more of this you really start seeing. You see where the government got a UFO in track. Yeah, I've been seeing a lot of that stuff. We would, it seems like kind of perfect timing to start announcing some of this stuff when the president, if you can call it that, can't even see that the sandbag. Was there even a sandbag? He falls. I mean, he falls down a flight of stairs, and all of a sudden there's a UFO the next day. Or if he, says something stupid like always, then the gas goes down the next day. And then when his numbers are up, then the gas numbers are up. I mean, it's just if you really watch some of the patterns and some of this stuff, I mean, I've been seeing this shit since. I grew up in a neighborhood with a lot of World War II retirees, and they used to talk about the Foo Fighters all the time. I mean, they knew they saw this stuff back in World War II. The Foo Fighters. If you don't know what a Foo Fighter is, it was like these orbs basically that were in all sides, no matter what side you were on in World War II. All of these people who are flying and some even on the ground were talking about these Foo Fighters. So it's nothing new. What were some of your worst symptoms on keto? Probably the insomnia. I think the insomnia was, you know what? No, it was the insomnia or the fact that when I finally did fall asleep, I woke up throwing up stomach acid and then smelling like ammonia all day wasn't very pleasant either. So somewhere in that realm, and then my kidneys started getting really bad, and I started having really bad back pain, and I thought it was, just back pain, and I realized where it was, and I realized it was my kidneys. Um, And I kinda started putting 2 and 2 together, and I had to that's when I started backing off the protein. Who do you think, be pres next? Um, I don't think the president that's probably gonna be next ever left office, but I think the one we got in office is, in charge of a bankrupt, corporation formerly known as the United States of America. If you really look at the records, I think we went bankrupt in 2018, uh, when China tried to pull some loans, and then that bankrupt them, and then shortly after that, they were starting to go off, after different countries like Taiwan and who else were they going after? They broke some deals because they were broke. And then Evergreen, the biggest company in China, went out of business. So it's a lot. McDougal for president. Well, we'll save the USA potatoes. He is not a good president at all. I would not vote for him. I would not want him in office. I think he's good at all at what he does, and he should stay there. I came in late, so I missed a bit. I've been thinking that you are drinking too much water at 3 gallons a day. There is such a as overhydration. I don't do that every day. When last week it was like 95 every day and almost 100% humidity. So that kind of weather makes it really difficult to stay hydrated, especially seeing how I don't have an air conditioner in my car and I really just don't feel like paying for one to be put in. What do you think about John Rose guy? I think he has a pretty good message. I think he's a little off the rails, and that's probably why he hasn't been more conventional, like mainstream than he is. I think he does have some definitely good things that he says for sure. Um, but I think he might be just a little too out there. Not that, not to say that I'm not. I don't know. He has some interesting theories. I wouldn't mind interviewing him, somebody like him. It would be kind of fun. Yeah. I haven't actually watched too many of his videos because he starts just going off on everything, and I just kind of checked out. But back to the 3 gallons. Yeah, no, I don't do that every day. I just try to get myself to actually be hydrated. There's such a balance between being hydrated and getting rid of all of your uh, minerals and not mineral, what do they call them? Sodium and all that. I keep getting disconnected. McDougal believes in tons of yeah, I mean, I would never, ever vote for that dude. Yeah, McDougal should stick to nutrition where he thrives. Do not like soapbox McDougal. Mm-mm. I turn him off all the time. I don't know how he can be so damn stupid. Yeah, I agree. He talks about raw food and then goes on about Nazis being good. I think there were scapegoats. I think there was a whole lot more going on in Poland at the time, and I think they needed a reason to start a war. If you really look at who made money off that, it's kind of a tale of too many things. Would you interview Free Melon Society? I have like 3 times. I don't think aliens come from space. In my opinion, I think they come from Earth, but different parts of Earth that is not shown on maps. It's possible. You hear the crotch rockets out there on the highway? Um, it's possible. It's very likely that they're us from the future, minus the ones gosh, I mean, did people really join for this? I really don't I don't know. I really don't know how far down this, I wanna go. I do have a book by Ed Bird, if anybody knows who he was. Interesting, how he just disappeared after you wrote the book. How much weight did you gain on keto? I was probably around 235 when I started keto, and I was 405 at the end of keto. Thoughts on tapioca pearls, homemade tapioca pudding? I don't like those tapioca pearls at all. If you like them, they taste like nothing. There's absolutely nothing. As I emailed you, Matt Stone was wrong about some things, but I think some of his health theories are right. I have not gotten a chance to that. I was on the road. I will watch that hopefully tonight. I think I've heard of Matt Stone. I think I have. I think I have. Oh, another thing that everybody's been asking me to look up is that Brad Marshall. I looked him up. It doesn't appear to me that he actually has a YouTube channel. He's just been interviewed on YouTube quite a few times. If I'm wrong and you're watching this and you know one of you know his channel, can you link it down in the description section or not the comment section down below? I don't know why everybody thinks he's so amazing. If you had a cheat meal, what would you have? Probably what I have for my birthday, which is lasagna and key lime pie. Regarding raw vegan, it'll make your body colder, which could lower your metabolism. I guess I have a hard time with that one because I have had that colder feeling, but I also dropped 32 pounds in 1 month last year on raw vegan. So I don't know. A lot of the raw vegans that I've interviewed, matter of fact, I think I've interviewed mostly raw vegans. Um, they have that as well, but they are not overweight. So I don't know. I tried out your yakisoba sauce recipe. It turned out really good. That stuff is phenomenal. There's this thing called yakisoba pan. Pan in Spanish is bread, and it's the Spanish were the first to bring bread to Japan, so they call bread pan there as well. And basically, what it is it's a basically the noodles and the sauce from yakisoba on a hot dog bun. It's like really popular over there. That stuff is absolutely just mind-boggling, awesome. Most raw vegans live in Canada. I don't understand that. When I was talking to Nutrition by Victoria, we noticed that too. It's crazy. I've only been to Canada once, and then ever since the passport thing, I haven't been up there. I stumbled upon this gal's site today. She's been raw vegan and it caused health issues and damaged her metabolism. She switched to an all-in approach and did better with time. All right, so there's way more context needed here. This is the thing with raw vegans. Most of them try to live on broccoli, kale juice, and then they'll just live off nuts. This is man, motorcycles are out like crazy. This is a lot of what they do, and then they'll blame raw vegan and the fact that no matter what diet you did, if you're eating off broccoli juice and kale juice, and then you eat nothing but lard the rest of the day or Twinkies, you're never gonna, it's just so I would have to know what she was actually eating. I've noticed some raw vegans never get lean. Maybe too many nuts. So many raw vegans. The nuts thing. I mean, every recipe you look at is got cashews, almonds, macadamia nuts, Brazil nuts were my favorite. The highest consumption of eggs anywhere is in Japan. I would follow that up with they also have the highest rate of stomach cancer. I am mostly raw vegan and also live in Montreal, Canada, Canada. I don't understand it. It's got to be the most expensive place on the planet to be raw vegan. I guess the Chinese also brought that money with them, so you all have it. Yeah, I have seen high body fat raw vegans. It doesn't shock me at all. Matter of fact, this is why Chef AJ hates raw vegan so much because she tried to live on like nut butter all day. Expensive and cold. It definitely is. You definitely notice a body temperature difference. And then but then if you interview like somebody like when I interviewed, I can't even think of his name. He's gonna kick me now. Man, my brain today. I can't think of his name. But when I when I interviewed the guy that lives in Sweden, he says that maybe the temperatures that we have is because of the low grade inflammation that we have from cooked food. So I don't know. There's two different theories. Raw vegans make so much complicated recipes. I just like eating simple. That shit is annoying too. Literally, when I do raw vegan, I throw a little bit of water and a bunch of bananas in a blender, drink that down, have watermelon, have dates. They also have the longest life expectancy. We're crossing lines here. The highest, longest life expectancy is in Okinawa, and they don't really eat that many eggs. Yes, I noticed it is consistently, but high carb, low fat cooked people tend to look slim and stay that way. It's probably because it's so hard to actually stay raw these days. How much weight should I expect to gain after switching from keto to plant-based vegan? It really depends on how long you were doing it, what your metabolism is. You'd really be better off if you really want to know where you're at, getting like a going to an endocrinologist and get a hormone, tests, especially for the TSH, T4. I see some great looking raw food online, but no way do I have the time or energy to make the usually fatty recipes with tons of nuts and seeds. I get it. I 100% do. I 100% do. They all seem to be well, not employed, but well off. They all have money somehow. It's like, they all have. They don't live in a normal reality for most of them. What would happen if I ate zero carbs and 400 grams of fat a day for a year? You probably wouldn't be typing to me anymore. You'd probably be dead. Ethan, you will become diabetic. I would go with that. Canada has a lot of vegan restaurants, even in small cities. There's a lot here too, but they're all really high fat. You die of anorexia. Yeah, I mean, that would not go well. I started making few ingredient juice as a few ingredient juices as you do, like carrot orange or carrot apple. So much better than a bunch of ingredients I used to. I mean, if you put a bunch of stuff in a juicer, it tastes like shit, tastes like ass, whatever you want to call it. It's it's so bad. I love Fruit Kid. He's inspired me to up my medjool date intake. I just bought 11 pounds of it and it's almost gone. Like I said, I'll probably do a short letting everybody know what the company was. Do you know about the plasma changeover event? I do not. I'm sure it's something that YouTube doesn't want me talking about. I was forced to be on an all liquid diet years ago, and I sucked tons of fat through a straw and got down to 84 pounds. Yeah. I used to add garlic, ginger, turmeric. Why do people do that? Why do they think they're going to become enlightened all of a sudden by juicing garlic? Or I just there is one there is one good recipe that I did that tastes like salsa. If you don't mind drinking salsa with garlic in it, but I mean, for the most part, I mean, why do people do it? Why do people hate themselves that much that they're going to juice garlic, ginger, and turmeric in the same damn thing? I don't get it. I look at them, I'm like, have fun with that. I don't know where you think you're going with that. I juiced garlic before. My breath stank for a whole week. That's not good. It might be useful, I guess, if you have a vampire. But other than that, yeah, yeah. I mean, I don't know why anybody even likes to eat raw garlic in the first place. That stuff hurts your feelings. Most of that stuff does. I do like raw. I do like ginger juice though. That stuff, especially if you're constipated and you had ginger juice, better be near a toilet. Thoughts on coffee? Hate this stuff. I don't like the smell. I don't like the taste. I don't like the look of it. I don't understand why people drink it. Looks like tar. Smells like tar. So you drop lots of. But you got rid of vampire risks. Yeah. Yes, now I only do the garlic in juices when I'm sick. I guess that helps. I don't know. I'm just not into I don't I've only done it a few times. I think it was tomato, garlic, celery, carrot, and one other thing, and it tasted really good, actually. No, I added sugar to my gallons of fat, but you still drop the weight. That's the thing, though, that just because you're skinny doesn't mean you're healthy, you know? See plenty of skinny people who aren't healthy. What are the top rice recipes in Japan? Well, I think in the morning they have rice with miso soup, and I mean, it's really just rice, a lot of vegetables, and maybe a little bit of fish. They do a lot with pumpkin. Like in the Western world, we use pumpkin during fall and everything. But in Japan, they do a lot of with like pumpkins and different gourds like year round. They do a lot with noodles. Well, I was desperate to stop the weight loss. Yeah. Why couldn't you gain weight? Because she couldn't eat. Onigiri is top rice food. I would imagine that is. Yeah, I mean, that's about as simple as you get, but the thing is that most of the time, the center of it's like, tuna or some kind of fish or egg. They do egg, very, differently than we're used to here. They have these, like, rectangular pans, and they pour 1 egg in, and they'll kinda turn it, and they'll pour another egg, and then they'll turn that into that egg, and then just keep going, and it's like this tube, and then they kinda cut it like you see, sushi, because I could only, suck up the liquids. A liquid diet makes you, evaporate, spike calories. My jaws were wired shut, man. You've had a lot, a lot. I guess you could stuff, rice with something else and then just, put the little nori, holder on it. I haven't really tried too much of that, though. I haven't really I don't know what I would put in there. I think I did try it with corn one time, but it really didn't work very well. There is a big difference between liquid and solid food calories. I would say so. But honestly, I lost a lot of weight on smoothies and juices actually. So, but maybe that's why. I don't know. Maybe it was the same thing as you. I really don't know. I just I don't always like doing them. Lately, I've been trying to eat as many watermelon as possible, but today when I got them, they were like $8 a piece. I'm like, how is that possible? It's weird but true. Yeah. Maybe that's why the people on the smoothie diets, lose weight so much. I really don't know, but there is definitely a difference. It kinda just washes through. If you look at that, damn, my brain today. Hell, Dr. Goldner, she says that it's more absorbable if you put it through a blender, so maybe it's absorbing and going right in. You really you look really young for your age. I swear every single video we go through this. Thank you. I you know, I don't know what 42 is supposed to look like. If I didn't have, this going on, I might look even younger. Who knows? Do you drink cola to increase testosterone? No, I don't. I cannot have caffeine. I cannot have caffeine. So I just kinda drink whatever doesn't have caffeine in it. Yeah, Goldner says unlimited avocado for weight loss. She does. She does. Um I know people who have gone on her diet and who have gained quite a bit of weight, but a lot of people do seem to lose it. So I really don't know. Um, Ryan is a kid of 42. I'm 56. I mean, what really is age? Did anyone try that? Goldner's? Yeah, a lot of people try it. I'm telling you, I gain weight on high carb, low fat, but lose weight when I eat fats. I'm trying to figure out. I the next question. I'm trying to figure out why that is, and I'm also really trying to figure out why, and I know some people who watch my videos will attack me for this in the DMs, but, what happened with the potatoes and eating, some kind of fat with it? Like, the Khan study, 1,900 extra calories a day just from fat, and it's not because they got bored of the potatoes, they still ate the same amount of potatoes, but why were they losing so much weight with the potatoes and the fat? Did you ever want kids? I always get weirded out by that question because I'm like, "Is she offering?" Um, I don't know. I guess it would have to be the right person, and I guess I would know at that time. Sugar water or fruit juice for long bike rides, what would be the best? I would think fruit juice with sugar in it because you're not gonna get tired of the flavor. I really get tired of the sugar water just straight. That's why I used to take the naked drinks on some of my bike rides, and then I would add sugar to that, because I didn't ever get tired of that flavor. Now, I will tell you this, if you're gonna do that, you're gonna have to rinse out your bottles every time, especially during the summer, because it will grow mold quickly. You're gonna have your own science experiment in those bottles if you don't rinse them out. So, if you're gonna do that, even if you're gonna just do sugar water, 100%, you gotta wash them things out after you're done because it will mold quick. Since we're doing weird questions, do you practice no fap? Why is this jacking off thing come every time? I don't jack off that much, but I don't practice no fap either. I really am more into sex. I'm not used to going this long without it. I think it's been like 3 or 4 weeks now. I cannot explain it, but I've seen others say the same thing. Yep, potatoes with fat. I drop weight, cut the fat, and I plump up. Yeah, 100%. Matter of fact, I gained weight on an all potato diet. What is no fat? No, it's not jacking off. Yeah. Everybody wants me to not be jacking off. It's like a new thing, especially like around 40 minutes in the video. Everybody waits and see how long this is going to go. They don't want to just start off with, jacking off. How much sugar do you add in naked drinks? I haven't had it in a while, but when I was doing it, I was adding in quite a bit. I wasn't really calculating it. I think I was filling the bottle maybe a third with sugar and then dumping in the filling in the rest with the naked drink, and then one bottle was just water because I wasn't going to drink. So that's what I would do. One bottle was water. On one of the bikes, I did add another bottle cage, and two of them would be the naked drinks, and one would be straight water because I can't just straight drink that. So but depends on how long I would ride for. My average ride was probably around 20, 22 miles. Some of them went up to 50 miles in one ride. What the hell are these noises? Um, Speaking of no fap, sounds like somebody's got a dildo outside of my window here. They're a vibrator. But anyway, yeah, so that's what I would do. I would really just do depending on the ride. And sometimes I would run out if it was long enough ride or if it was hot enough, and then I would just stop at some restaurant and fill the bottle and then put just ask them for sugar packets and then put the sugar packets in it. I really get sick of the straight sugar water too. Store-bought juice ain't the best, but it works. Yeah, I mean, do whatever you got to do. Are we in a matrix? Ryan is now saying fat makes us lose weight. No, I didn't say that. I'm trying to figure out what the difference is in these potato things, because if you look at all of the ones that were successful, they all had a decent amount of fat. The con one, my jaw damn near dropped when I read that they added 1,900 calories a day to these people's diet of fat in a day. And that was from the beginning too, because if you watch McDougal, he cites the study wrong. Um, I was like, yeah, because they first actually started making them fritters, like potato fritters. And the people who were in the study backed off and they said, no, we'd rather just have like mashed potatoes with a little bit of butter on it. I can't even make fruit smoothies without juice now because I get sick of the same boring flavors. I never really do. I'm pretty bad with that. Like I don't think people could maintain some of my habits. Chip diet. Exactly. How is a potato chip diet people causing these people to lose weight? Now, the one thing I will say is none of them used any kind of these seed oils or coconut oils or anything like that. I think those oils are really bad for you. And I'm not really advocating for oil, but something with that. Sean Baker says potatoes are trying to kill you. Hot. That guy is such an idiot. That guy is such a moron. Of all of these so-called doctors out there, I think he is the no, he's up there. He really has good company, doesn't he? He's got that Berg guy. Isn't there a couple Bergs? I don't know. There's a bunch of them. They are just laughable, and aren't like half of them, if not more than half of them, chiropractors. I've eaten 3 pounds of potatoes a day for months and didn't get fat. Yeah, I just the one of the girls I reached out to today on the medical medium says she goes through 50 pounds of potatoes a week when she's doing like a detox. I'm like, damn, that's a lot of potatoes. 50 pounds, and she's not big. She looked like maybe she was 115, 120 pounds or something like that. I was like, wow. So I don't know. I think I was only going through 25 or 30 pounds a week on the potato thing. Maybe I just wasn't eating enough. I have no idea. But anyway, I think I'm gonna get going here pretty soon because I gotta eat. I just emailed you the video from the guy who ate only taters for 2 weeks. It's funny. I think I've seen it. There's a couple of them that are so annoying. One of them has like 11 million views, and it made me want to vomit. Why every time I say I'm gonna get out of here, like 30 people join? I don't get that. Yeah, there's a couple of them with just these people are just so annoying. They're just trying to get views because they knew people were doing this potato only thing, and they just were clamming for those views. Can't wait for you to figure this out for all of us. I mean, honestly, mostly raw is worked great for me, like great. um, I am very leery of going on the potato and fat diet. Like, I highly doubt that one's going to happen. But I felt really good. I've been riding bike every morning or sometime during the day. My recovery's been great. It's mostly been fruit, mostly bananas, watermelon, and dates. And then at night, I have some kind of starch. Tonight, just going to have to make happen to be rice. Fat is good for you. I don't know. I don't know what to think about it anymore. I don't know what to think about it anymore. Fruit makes me gain weight. Seriously, maybe it's trying to heal you. It's just healing weight. I don't. I've never heard of any. The only thing is you have some really bad food combinations. I have to limit the 2 pieces per day. I don't know. Some of your food combinations might be the cause. Mostly raw worked great for me. Even all fruit, the weight falls off, but I can't sustain that. I crave too much. 100%. Healing weight. I mean, yeah. I mean, this is you see people who are anorexic for a long time, and they gain weight quite a bit. Have you tried using a heart rate monitor? It may help with getting into a zone that could push. That whole thing. That whole if you can't out exercise a bad diet, fat doesn't make you fat. It's just not true. I agree. The fat thing. I mean, but then you tell me when you have too much fat, then you can't sleep. So, I mean, what is it? If it's good for you, why would you have worse time sleeping? Target heart rate. Learned that in high school. Yeah, that was one of the things that they were marketing back in the 90s. Healthy, crazy, cool, and his girlfriend eat tons of fat, but are very lean. Crazy cool. I don't know if I know who that is. I might know who that is. Bananas in the morning and potatoes for the rest of the day, working wonders. I can see that. Potatoes seem to be a cure-all for everything. No, it's not fats that cause my insomnia. It's the brain-crushing headache and my genetics. Yeah, but you said when you do more carbs, you fall asleep easier. I don't know. I'm telling you, whenever I have, my arms are smaller than they used to be. Whenever I have, I forget what I was saying. Oh, sugar water, man. I just pass out. What affects my insomnia is carbs, protein. Yeah, that's a terrible combination. Fat you eat is fat you wear, apparently. Carb eating doesn't mean no fats eating. Well, it's really not even possible. Unless you're eating just straight sugar. I mean, it's not possible to completely get fats out of the diet. They're in everything. Or fat is in, especially greens and green food. That's why the water just repels off, leaves. Athenia, I think it's all in your head. Oh, for Etheria? No, I don't know. I mean, I've gone through it too. I've gone through it too. There was this YouTube Andrew something. He gained weight by purposely overeating on fruits. I mean, people do this stuff for. I just don't know how you would. I know so many fruitarians. They're about as far from fat as you can get. Can't get sleep after a fatty supper. No. The fat you eat is the fat you wear is not true. According to McDougall, it is. What's in my head? Not sleeping. Uh-oh, it's going to turn into a war here. I better get out of here before this war starts. Yeah, carbs are the best energy source for people. Yeah, I don't think anybody really can argue with that. Although the keto people are starting, trying to argue it, despite the fact that most of them own melatonin, they can't sleep, their hair's falling out, they look like psychotics. Other than that, they're doing great. All right, it's coming up on an hour here. I think I'm going to get heading out of here. Diet wars, yeah, that's what my comment section has really turned into. Please get Georgie back. I've been binge watching his stuff. Really interesting. He seems to be backing off of interviews. I have emailed him. We'll see what happens. The brain crushing, a headache that the Mayo Clinic can't help. I've had 3 neck and 1 head injuries. That sucks. The keto stare. Yeah, the keto stare is unreal. It makes a Vietnam stare, the Nam stare, the 1,000-yard stare. Yes, maybe you keep overthinking, which keeps you from falling asleep. Ryan, you think you might be genetically unable to enter ketosis? Why would you want to be in ketosis? Ketosis used to be a thing that people told you to avoid because it's so bad for you. Why would you want to go into that? These people try to gain weight on only melons. Impossible. Anyway, people do things for, technically avocados are fruit, so that means they could literally just sit there and eat avocado all day or durian or something like that. People want views so bad that they'll do just about anything. It's so insane. Or bad food combinations. Their guts completely distended, but they say they got fat. In reality, is they got 40 pounds of stuff in their gut that hasn't come out because digestion doesn't know how to work anymore. Anyway, I'm gonna get heading out of here. Stay for like another minute. Any more things that you want me to answer or crazy comments or anything? No. All right. I'm gonna get heading out of here. I gotta eat at some point. All right. Well, thanks for joining. Peace. I will maybe do one on Friday. We'll see. No idea. Anyway, talk to you next time.